Well, this segment takes me to the Baldwin Lane Elementary School, where they're having their annual science fair. This is really a great project for the kids here. And we're going to see Mrs. Sevich, who is the science teacher, and we're going to see a few of the exhibits and the projects that the kids did, particularly those who are the winners. Well, this is an exhibit by Adriana Bogie, and what her project was, the question was, what drink stains your teeth the most? So she researched it on books, the internet, and came up with some conclusions. She used apple juice, grape juice, Coke, and Gatorade. The four right here. And here's her conclusion. In result of her conclusion, the Coke tooth enamel turned brown and the Coke is eating up the tooth. The grape juice tooth enamel turned purple. Apple juice tooth continues to deteriorate. See, she's got teeth in there. I wonder where she got those teeth. But anyway, that's one of the science projects. Isn't that neat? Okay, and here's a project by Kirsten Bennett, and she's asking the question to freeze or not to freeze. That is the question. So anyway, the question is, which additive prevents freezing best? Is it the salt, rubbing alcohol, or antifreeze? So she's picking these particular three areas. So what do you think? Now, isn't that something? Okay, here's her conclusion. The salt worked best. Not freezing at 5 degrees and 8 ounces of water with 4 tablespoons of salt. The antifreeze worked second best because it increased to at least 50%, but then decreased to 40% at the end. And last but not least, rubbing alcohol, it stayed at 0% till the last 2 tries, then it increased to 5%. This surprised me because I thought antifreeze would work best, but that was my incorrect hypothesis. Now, isn't that neat? I mean, this science fair gets these kids to really think and do various projects. Well, this project is by Taylor Bean, and she is the first place winner for the science fair, and she has Easterly and by Taylor Bean. It was the history of rubber. So the rubber is derived from plants that grow best around the equator. Rubber was given its name in 1770 by an English chemist. So anyway, the big question she asked, how does different temperatures affect the elasticity and tensile strength of a rubber band? So anyway, she says, I infer that the elasticity and tensile strength is greater with warm temperatures compared to colder temperatures. And rubber bands, 3 different sizes, 3 Ziploc baggies, 1 cup hook, a wooden board, stopwatch, 2 thermometers, 2 papers, measuring tapes, metal coat hangers, and several different size weights was what she used. And here's some of the things that she used, and she had a thermometer right next to it. And there it is. So anyway, after her test, the results were, her conclusion was, I was partially correct. The tensile strength was greater at 30 degrees. The elasticity was greater at 70 degrees. I would most likely change what I said about the tensile strength test in the hypothesis. I would like to try this project with more different temperatures and a wider variety of rubber bands. Can you get over this? This is elementary school, folks. These kids really are thinking up different things. And here's the second place winner. And this is by Siena Mossman, and she's the second place winner at the Baldwin Lane Elementary School Science Fair. And she's saying, what shoes do I choose? What shoes do I choose? For concrete, for grass? And the experiment, she first picked out 4 pairs of shoes with different soles. She weighed each shoe. She got 4 grocery bags, filled them with gravel, the weighed bags of gravel. So anyway, her question was, which shoes grip the best? Which shoe grips the worst? Let's find out. So she goes through all of it. She again tells you what materials she uses. She has them all here, photos of them. Wood floor, gravel, concrete, and grass. Then she did a graph, dated and graph. So anyway, the results that she found out from this experiment is I found that the hiking shoe gripped the best overall, and that the Heeley shoe gripped at least exactly what I had predicted. The hiking shoe even gripped better on the wood floor, but the basketball shoe was a very close second. So if grippy is what you want then to go with the hiking shoe. So that is it. That's what shoe, because it has the Heeley, of course, is you know, the ones with the little wheels on the bottom. Then these here are the runners-up, the honorable mentions, and here, there, everywhere. And this one is by Alexia Zaharis, and she's honorable mention. And her question is, what is the most common roadside litter in my community? Wow. And look at her. She's out looking at everything, looking at all the trash and everything. So anyway, what do you think it is? Then she does her chart, and her conclusion is, my hypothesis was proven incorrect. The most common roadside litter was plastic cups and bottles. The total amount of plastic cups and bottles is 69 items that she found. Isn't that something? What do you think of all this, folks? And here's another honorable mention. This is bacteria. The hypothesis is, I think that the toilet will have the most bacteria prevalent because it is a dirty place where people go to the bathroom. So anyway, her question was, where is bacteria most prevalent? On a shopping cart, public toilet, or on a toothbrush? And this is by Joy Campbell, and her procedure was she prepared a Petri dish. Wow, for all of that. So she went through a whole lot of materials. She used a Petri dish with agar, toothpicks, lamp with a 150-watt bulb, and table to place the dishes. And she went to the Stater Brothers men's urinal. Wow! Stater Brothers shopping cart handles, and Vaughn's women's toilet seat. So she has them all in the Petri dishes here, as you can see. Oh dear, this is really cool. So anyway, the results. Sample 2, the Stater shopping cart handle, grew the most bacteria. It grew to about the size of a dime. And her conclusions is, my conclusion is that shopping cart handles have more bacteria than a public toilet or your own toothbrush. So always use the antibacterial wipes to wipe down your cart when you go shopping. And as you know, I know at least Stater Brothers has the wipes right inside of both doors. So anyway, that's interesting. Bacteria. And here's another project. This is by Sean Murphy. And his pills. The question is, which pill will dissolve the quickest? Hypothesis, I think pill number 1 will dissolve the quickest. Results, pill number 1, the coated pill dissolved the quickest. So anyway, what he did is he lined up 4 glass cups and then placed 1 pill in each cup and carefully added the water to each cup, noted the start time of 7 p.m., and he monitored the progress every 20 minutes for 2 hours. Then he let the pills remain in the cups for a total of 24 hours. And this shows the clear glass dishes, dessert dishes that he used. So this is really interesting. So anyway, his conclusion was, I think the pills probably dissolve differently in water than they do in the stomach. I think the acid in our stomach helps to dissolve the pills better. Pretty cool, huh? And here's an experiment by Joshua Fritz. What he did, he experimented on these new flashlights. They're supposed to be unbreakable. They don't have batteries. You just shake them to get light, and it's called the everlasting flashlight. So he's seen commercials on this for the Everlast flashlight. They say you can drop it on the ground in the water, even run over with your car. It will still work. So anyway, what he did, look at it. He ran over it with the car. I mean, he had probably his dad or someone. But anyway, it rolled on one side, and there it is on the other side. And it still works. He went there. And then he did another test. He put it in water, filled the sink full of water, and dropped it in there and did that one. And then he had, as he said, test 1. He dropped it out of a second story way down onto the ground, onto concrete. And wow, he really did it. So anyway, his he used the Everlast flashlight and did all of the tests, and his conclusions were that, much to my surprise, he says, the Everlast flashlight passed all of the tests we gave it. Their commercials were true. This flashlight is really unbreakable. How cool is that? Well, we found the principal here, Mr. Martinez. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Wonderful. I am so impressed with these kids. We're at an elementary school.
I know.
And these are like high school or college experiments.
The kids do a great job every year, and this year, really, I think they've outdone themselves. I'm really
Know it. Now, do they think of each project themselves, or are they given a list of possibles?
Some kids think of their own. Some kids need a list. There's a lot of books in the library they can check out on different projects they can do if they're having trouble coming up with ideas. But a lot of kids come up with their own ideas.
Really?
A lot of originality.
I guess you could go on the internet to one of the search engines and search for science fairs.
Mm-hmm. I think a lot of kids do that as well.
And we'll get it and get ideas.
Sure.
But what a variety here. I mean, I'm amazed. Now, what ages do participate in science fair? Or what grades?
Mostly the upper grades are required to do a science fair project by their teacher, and then the lower grades are optional, and so they participate depending on if they want to or not.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's exciting.
That is something. I can't get over it. I just enjoy it. I've done the Big Bear Elementary School, and I've never done Baldwin Lane. But Baldwin Lane, man, it seems to me they really are a notch above, the other science fairs that I've been to.
And I should say thank you to the parents, too, for all their help.
I know it. Parents have to help, too.
Yeah.
I mean, they can't do it all by themselves.
Exactly.
But that is really neat. Baldwin Lane, I mean, the school is our newest elementary school. How many students do we have here now?
About 500.
Really?
Yeah.
And of course, everybody thought this would be a snow day.
It's a beautiful day out there, definitely.
But it's nice.
Yeah.
So anyway, you have a lot of projects. You have, does elementary school have teams, for sports or anything, or do they just
They
go out and
participate in
play
the
in their own?
Yeah, for the recreation departments,
right?
And things like that.
And I've been here for the talent contest, and you have talent here too.
That's coming up.
I know it never ends. I am so pleased and so proud. We have a great district The Bear Valley Unified School District is so good. The teachers are good, the school, the curriculums are good, and with the Major Q bonds, they're really upgrading so many of the older school facilities, which is good. How long have you been here?
This is my third year.
Your third year?
Yeah.
Now, did you start here, or were you over at...
I was at the high school for
That's
2 years before this.
That's right.
As the assistant principal.
Yeah, well, that's cool. Well, nice meeting you, and gosh, congratulations to all your kids.
Thanks.
And your teachers and all that.
All the hard work that they do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Well, that concludes the segment here at the Baldwin Lane Elementary School and their annual science fair. I'm so proud of our kids. That concludes the segment. Now stay tuned for these messages.
Impressed with the
Oh,